A god steals fire from the heavens and gives it to humans. Zeus responds immediately. Prometheus is chained to a rock where he cannot move. An eagle is sent to him every single day. It tears open his body and eats his liver, and every night, the liver grows back. This does not last for days. It does not last for years. It does not end. This is what happens when you defy Zeus. Now we go back to the moment everything went wrong. Prometheus was the son of Iapetus and Clymene, one of the Titans who fought in the Great War against the Olympians. But unlike many of his kin, he did not oppose Zeus. In Hesiod's account, Prometheus foresaw the outcome of the war and sided with Zeus. When the Titans were defeated and cast into Tartarus, Prometheus remained free. He had helped establish the new order. Zeus's rule, however, was newly won and not yet secure. His father Cronus had overthrown Uranus. Zeus had overthrown Cronus. The pattern of succession was embedded in divine history. Power in heaven had always been temporary. It is within this unstable order that Prometheus intervened on behalf of humanity. At Mecone, a dispute arose over how sacrifices to the gods would be divided. Prometheus slaughtered an ox and separated it into two portions. In one, he placed the edible meat concealed beneath the animal's stomach lining. In the other, he placed bare bones covered in shining fat. Zeus was invited to choose which portion would belong to the gods. In Hesiod's Theogony, Zeus recognizes the trick but selects the bones, establishing the custom that humans would keep the meat while offering bones and fat to the gods. In another tradition, Zeus is genuinely deceived. In either version, the result is the same. Prometheus publicly manipulates divine authority and advantages humanity. Zeus answers immediately. He withholds fire from mortals. Without fire, humans cannot cook meat, cannot smelt ore, cannot harden tools. Civilization stalls. The sacrifice dispute becomes a direct blow against human survival. Prometheus escalates. He does not appeal to Zeus. He does not accept the punishment. Instead, he ascends to Olympus, steals fire from the divine hearth, and conceals it within a hollow fennel stalk. Hesiod's Works and Days preserves this detail. The theft is deliberate and calculated. This is the irreversible turning point. Once fire is delivered to humanity, it spreads beyond recall. Hearths are lit, metal is forged, tools multiply, weapons strengthen, night is pushed back. The divide between mortal limitation and divine privilege narrows. In later tradition, especially in Aeschylus's Prometheus Bound, Prometheus claims to have given mortals not only fire, but numbers, writing, medicine, architecture, and navigation. These expansions intensify his role as benefactor. But the essential crime remains singular and concrete. He stole what Zeus denied. Zeus cannot erase the act. The flame is already in human hands, so he changes strategy. If he cannot remove fire, he can ensure that every human advantage carries a cost. He orders Hephaestus to shape a woman from clay. Athena clothes her and teaches her craft. Aphrodite gives her beauty. Hermes gives her cunning and persuasive speech. Each Olympian contributes a gift. She is named Pandora, all-gifted. She is not created for companionship, she is retaliation. Prometheus had warned his brother Epimetheus never to accept gifts from Zeus. Epimetheus ignores the warning and welcomes Pandora into his home. With her comes a jar. Pandora removes the lid. From the jar pour diseases, toil, sorrow, and hardship. They scatter among humanity and cannot be gathered back. Only Elpis, often translated as hope, remains trapped inside when the lid is replaced. This is the second irreversible escalation. Fire empowers humanity, but suffering becomes inseparable from human existence. Zeus cannot strip mortals of their new power, so he reshapes the conditions under which they live. Every forge burns, every harvest feeds, but disease spreads, labor exhausts, mortality presses closer. The theft of fire has not liberated humanity from divine control, it has entangled them in permanent hardship. Zeus then turns his full attention to Prometheus. The punishment must be exemplary. It must demonstrate that no one, not even a Titan ally, can defy the king of the gods without consequence. Prometheus is seized and carried to a remote mountain, commonly identified in later sources as the Caucasus. He is bound by Hephaestus under the supervision of Kratos and Bia, embodiments of power and force. The imagery is deliberate. Zeus's authority is enacted physically. Prometheus is chained to the rock. He cannot move, he cannot escape, he cannot die. Each day, an eagle descends and devours his liver. Because he is immortal, the organ regenerates overnight. At dawn, the eagle returns. The cycle repeats. The punishment is mechanical and unending. It does not depend on anger, it depends on structure. Zeus has designed a torment that renews itself, but the torture serves another purpose. In Aeschylus's Prometheus Bound, Prometheus possesses knowledge that threatens Zeus directly. He knows of a prophecy: Zeus will one day father a son greater than himself, destined to overthrow him. The pattern of succession that defined Uranus and Cronus could repeat. Prometheus refuses to reveal the identity of the woman who would bear this child. The punishment becomes leverage. Zeus's fear is not irrational. He has already followed the same path as his father. The stability of his reign depends on breaking the cycle. As long as Prometheus withholds the prophecy, Zeus rules under uncertainty. Thus, the eagle does more than punish theft. It enforces silence. Each day of torment is an attempt to break the Titan's resistance. Prometheus does not yield. Years pass. Generations of mortals live and die under the conditions created by his act. Fire advances civilization. Pandora's release ensures that suffering advances with it. Zeus maintains supremacy, but the memory of rebellion remains embedded in his rule. Eventually, the chain of consequence intersects with another hero. During his 12 labors, Heracles travels through the Caucasus. In multiple traditions, he encounters Prometheus still bound to the rock. As the eagle descends, Heracles shoots it with an arrow and kills it. He breaks the chains and frees the Titan. Some versions state that Zeus permits this release. Others imply it occurs as part of divine negotiation. In several accounts, Prometheus must wear a ring fashioned from the rock and iron of his chains, symbolizing that Zeus's punishment is never entirely erased. In exchange, Prometheus reveals the prophecy. The sea nymph Thetis will bear a son greater than his father. If Zeus fathers this child, he will be overthrown. Zeus avoids this fate by arranging Thetis' marriage to the mortal Peleus. Their son will be Achilles, powerful but not a threat to Olympus. The knowledge extracted from Prometheus secures Zeus's throne, but nothing returns to its earlier state. Humanity retains fire. With it come metallurgy, weapons, ships, cities, and organized warfare. Sacrificial rituals continue under the precedent set at Mecone. The gods receive bones and fat. Humans keep the meat. The divide remains structured by Prometheus's deception. At the same time, Pandora's release cannot be undone. Disease persists. Toil defines mortal life. Hope remains ambiguous, sealed within the jar, though neither fully released nor fully removed. Zeus continues to rule. He avoids the fate of Uranus and Cronus, not by eliminating threat, but by controlling it. He arranges marriages carefully. He swallows Metis to prevent another dangerous birth. His reign becomes marked by vigilance. Prometheus's theft reshaped the cosmos. He gave humanity power beyond its original allotment. Zeus responded by embedding suffering into the human condition and fear into his own rule. The Titan endured ages of torment. The king of the gods ruled with the memory of succession hanging over him. The flame still burns in every hearth. It forges plow and spear alike. It warms and it destroys. It feeds cities and fuels war. It is inseparable from progress and from ruin. Zeus was never able to take it back. Prometheus was never fully absolved. Humanity was never again innocent of divine fire. The eagle's shadow may have lifted from the mountain, but the consequences remain fixed in the structure of the world. Fire and suffering entered together. Power and punishment became permanent companions. A Titan stole a spark, a god answered with endless torment, and the world that followed has never been free of either.